Hi, it's Brian 2. It's 14:38 hours, January 12th, 2022. There are many ways to shield oneself, but from CIA, DIA mind control technologies, there are only four. Only four. There's passive shielding, chemical shielding, mental shielding, and what's called electronic jamming. The only one we know that works for sure is electronic jamming, but we can't do it. We don't have access to the hardware and the software. And even if we did have access to that mega $1,000,000 hardware and software, we don't have the expertise to operate such systems. So electronic jamming, though it's the only one that works for sure, we can't do it. So that leaves us only three. Okay, only three methods. Passive shielding, chemical shielding, mental shielding. Of those three, the most effective is mental shielding. Passive shielding is just the use of passive materials like metal, okay, to shield oneself. It's not very effective. You can't shield from an automated active and adaptive, right? You can't shield from an active system using passive materials. It's just not possible. If you understood the technology, you would know that. But some people do say it gives them some relief at certain levels, at certain frequencies. So that's passive shielding. It's just the use of passive materials like metal. Okay? Then you have chemical shielding, which like Valium, Ativan. It's not really shielding, it's just a method to try and minimize the attacks or minimize the symptoms from the attacks. Like this video, I'm taking a shot of Leuprolide to try to minimize the remote neural attacks of lust. It copies those brain waves, captures them, then it injects them perpetually back into the brain of the victim. It could be rage, it could be anger, fear, paranoia, guilt, remorse. Whatever it can capture and verify, that's what it uses. What it uses against me a lot is, and other men and women, is lust. It's just motivational impulses of desire. So you have a strong urge of desire at higher levels for lust, for sex, for drugs, for alcohol. You have a strong urge at higher levels meaning that's a high frequency attack, and you have a low urge or basic motivation at baseline levels. That's a low frequency attack. Strong urge, strong high frequency attack, low urge, low frequency attack. Okay. So I'm using chemical shielding, and then mental shielding is just like, redirection, multitasking, quenching, spontaneity, etc. It's the most effective. But they're just causing me to burn with lust, and if you understand the technology, that's a very important metric in their training, research, and development. To engineer, find out whatever destructive habit the victim has and then amplify that to destroy the victim. Whether it's smoking, whether it's eating, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, whatever. They find out whatever destructive habit the victim, pornography, whatever it is, okay? Or memories of past sexual events. Those reflexive memories. System captures all that, okay? And then it just amplifies. You get a strong urge, a desire, high frequency attack to destroy you, to force you into a destructive behavior. Again, trauma-based mind control of the CIA and the Department of Defense is a weapon system. It's designed to turn the victim into a weapon who will inflict destruction upon others, or, listen, who will self-destruct. It's a weapon system. So that's what I'm doing here. I went to the doctor, and of course all the game began immediately. I'm not going to let the victim go to the doctor, and there's not going to be, the game, a medical COINTELPRO, they're going to force the victim to play the game. That's an important metric. Any medical treatment. The victim must be kept in a controlled environment. So I've got to go get the shot now from the pharmacy. Of course, there's more games. That's how trauma-based mind control works. Force the victim to play the game. Sprung to. Doctor was very forceful in the office, very aggressive. You know, doctors don't give shots; they just don't do it. It's something, you know, it's hyper game. Okay, last response of the victim, whatever that is what they'll do. Something different. Whatever the victim says or does. But, you know, based on my experience of 54 years, doctors don't give shots. Nurses give shots. You don't want a doctor to give you a shot. Doctors don't give shots. They learn how to give shots in medical school, and they don't give them anymore. That's a nurse's job. Or the lab tech. But, you know, he aggressively wanted to give me the shot. Sprang to Panama City, Panama. Just left the Panama clinic.